Traveling Art and Kimmy here, and for the purpose of this video, I do want to go over how much money I was able to make on my contract in California. I will be breaking down the numbers, the hours, overtime, hourly rate, everything. And I already made a video on my experience working in California and the hospital I was working at. So if you haven't seen that video already, go ahead and check that out. But I'm gonna try my bestest to go over all the information I have. If you feel like I did not go over something that you have a question about, go ahead and leave that in the comments down below, and I will try my bestest to answer for you. And like and subscribe, of course. So let's get into the video. So while I was working at this hospital, I did, this contract was for 13 weeks. During this contract, I did take off, I did have vacation during 1 week in this contract. I did not work at all. So I got a total of 12 paychecks on this contract. For the first 5 weeks, sorry, I'm looking down because I'm looking at the numbers because I didn't want to give you any misinformation. So for the first 5 weeks of this contract, I worked 36 hours. After the 5 weeks, I decided that I wanted to work 48 hours because I felt like the workload at this hospital was not that bad at all. And I was not disappointed. I worked so much overtime after the first 5 weeks. So like I said, the first 5 weeks, my contract was for 36 hours. I was getting $44 per hour and 44 per hour, and then I believe 66 for overtime. If I am incorrect, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put the information about how much I made for my hourly rate and my overtime and my bonus. So after working, like I said, for 5 weeks, I decided that I wanted to work 48 hours contract wise. So they switched me from 36 to 48. My pay also increased because I did my calculations. I already did another video on that, pretty much on how I was able to negotiate my pay raise. So go ahead and check that out too if you haven't seen that. But yeah, I went from 36 to 48 hours. I did also during this contract work more than 48 hours. On the 6th week, I worked 48, 7th week, I worked 60, 8th week, I did 72, and then I'll just go ahead and throw some numbers on the screen so you guys can see pretty much how many hours I worked for each week. So you have an idea of what I had to do to make the total amount that I made. So in total for this contract, gross pay, I made $63,000 in 3 weeks, guys, $63,000. I took home after taxes, I was able to take home $42,663. Now, like I said, the amount that I made is because I did work more than 36 hours during this contract. I did a lot of overtime. My contract also included shift bonuses. So every time I picked up a shift, I was able to get more. After the 5th week and when I was working the 48, now my contract is 48, my shift bonus went from $440, I believe, to $830. So every time I picked up a shift, after the 6th week, I was making an additional $830 on top of my hourly rate and top of my overtime rate. So that also contributed. I want you guys to know, like, this isn't just overtime. This is overtime plus shift bonuses. A lot of people might think it was kind of chaotic for me to be working 60, 70 hours a week. But like I said, my work ethic is my work ethic, and I am not going to force anyone to work as much as I did. Like I said, I also judged based on my experience, based on the workload of the hospital, based on what I knew was going on. I never always do this. So like when I worked in New Jersey, I never picked up overtime. When I worked in Baltimore, I picked up overtime like on two shifts I made, picked up overtime, but everything else I never did. So like I said, judge based on what you feel comfortable with, what you feel like you have the strength to do. But like I said, this is what I was able to do in order to make the amount of money I made while I was working in California. I did want to also remind you guys that during this contract, I had so many issues with payroll. Every single week that I got a paycheck, it was incorrect. Something was misplaced. Something wasn't placed there. It was such a hassle working with the travel agency I was working with during my California contract. Now, during my other contracts, I never had any issues. Like I said, with payroll, I don't know if it was because it was California. I don't know if it was the specific payroll representative, whatever the issue was. I did have a lot of issues working with payroll during this contract. So to be honest, I was very frustrated because each week I did not get an actual amount that I was supposed to get per hours. So even with the 36 hours, that paycheck was incorrect. So I mean, in the end, they did calculate and gave me what I was owed, but I would have appreciated if I didn't even have to go through that situation, but it is what it is. But that is the numbers that I was able to accomplish while working in California. I hope those information was helpful for you. If you do have any other questions other than, the hourly rate, the overtime, the bonuses, the amount of hours that I made in order to make this money, go ahead and leave those down below. I'll make sure I get to you guys on those comments. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you guys in the next video.